in this question, it is asking that a solid expands upon heating, there is thermal expansion. A solid expands upon heating because the potential energy of interaction between atoms in the solid is asymmetric about the equilibrium position of the atoms. The frequency of vibration of the atoms increases. The heating generates a thermal gradient between opposite sides. A fluid called the caloric flows into the interatomic spacing of the solids during heating, thereby expanding it. So this is a question from KVPY 2014, and the correct answer to this question is option E. The potential energy of interaction between atoms in the solid is asymmetric about the equilibrium positions of the atoms. So again, it is a theoretical question, and we must know about what is this asymmetric is all about and how this is creating the thermal expansion in the solids. First, let us talk about something about the potential energy curve and potential energy and their total energy. Let us write the mechanical energy. We can we can write it as mechanical energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Suppose if we are given that the mechanical energy is 40 joule, then at any instant kinetic energy and potential energy का जो sum होगा, the summation of kinetic plus potential will be equal to 40. Let us suppose that if u is equal to 10, then this would be 30. If this is 10, then this would be 30. If u is maximum somewhere, then k will be minimum at that location. If u is minimum at some location, then k will be maximum at that particular location. If we draw a potential energy curve, a simple potential energy curve I am drawing here. Let us draw a symmetric potential energy curve here. Let us u versus some x, and I am taking the mechanical energy is equal to, let's say, minus 30. The total mechanical energy is minus 30 joule, and suppose this minima, we know that at minima the force is 0, F is equal to minus du by dx. Let us at minima, let us say that this u is equal to minus 40. The particle, how the particle will move in this scenario, if mechanical energy is minus 30 joule and this at this point, which is the minima of u, the u is equal to minus 40, u minimum is minus 40. So suppose if the particle is at this equilibrium position, then u is minimum. If u is minimum, then k is maximum. And what will be k here at this location? So at this location, the value of k will be equal to plus 10. K cannot be negative, kinetic energy cannot be negative. So k is 30 and this k is equal to 10, and this 10 and this minus 40 will be minus 30. Total mechanical energy is minus 30 joule. As I said, at this location kinetic energy is maximum. It has some speed, particle has some speed. So if it is going in this direction, so it will go in this direction. When it goes in this direction, then potential energy increases, and if potential energy increases, then kinetic energy decreases. And suppose I draw a line like this. This line corresponds to u is equal to minus 30. Suppose this is u is equal to minus 30. So at this particular location, for this particular x, at this particular location, the kinetic energy will become 0 because u is equal to minus 30. So at this location k will be 0. The particle will return back now. When it crosses again this mean position where force is 0, then again it will stop somewhere here. Here again kinetic energy will be 0. Force on particle always acts in such a way that the force always tends to decrease the potential energy. Force जो कंजर्वेटिव फोर्स होता है, जो कंजर्वेटिव फोर्स पार्टिकल पे यहाँ पे एक्ट करता है, दैट इज गिवन बाय माइनस डी बाई डी एक्स, एंड इट टेंड्स टू ऑलवेज decrease the potential energy. It will act in that direction in which potential energy is decreasing. Suppose particle is somewhere here. If particle is somewhere here in this zone, then the force will be like this. The force will tend, the force acting on the particle will tend to move this particle towards the u minimum position. At this location force is 0. If particle is somewhere here, then force is something like this. So force is always directed such a way that it tends to decrease the potential energy of the particle. It tends to move it toward the stable equilibrium position. It is always do like that. It tends to decrease the potential energy of the particle. So I can say the particle can move only between these two values. Suppose this value I am writing it as x1, and suppose this x coordinate, suppose this is x2. So particle can move between these two locations, x1 and x2. It cannot go left to this x1, it cannot go beyond this x2. The particle will always move between these two locations, and it is some kind of oscillations. Now coming back to this solids. In solids there are atoms, and forces between two atoms can be thought of like a spring. The force between two atoms, the bonding forces, are just like spring forces. When a spring is expanded from its natural length, then the force due to a spring tends to decrease the length of the spring. If it is under expansion, if it is under compression, then the spring will push these two atoms away. So force between these two atoms will be some kind of force exerted by spring. Now let us draw the potential energy curve for two atoms, for interaction of two atoms. So let us draw the curve. These are the axes. Here it is U, and this is R. R is separation between the atoms. So U as a function of separation between atoms. And this curve goes like this. So this is the curve, and at this particular location there is a minimum of U, and you can say this is the equilibrium separation. Suppose this is R0, and R0 is the equilibrium separation here. R0 is equilibrium separation between the atoms. At this separation the atoms will be in equilibrium. So atoms are vibrating about their equilibrium position. Atoms are in continuous vibration about their equilibrium position at a particular temperature. Due to thermal energy, due to thermal agitation, atoms are doing some kind of vibration, and for this separation they are under equilibrium. But at equilibrium, like I said, kinetic energy is maximum, so they don't stop here and they do vibrations. So molecules or atoms are doing vibration about this equilibrium position, which is R is equal to R0. At this kind of separation, if R is greater than R0, suppose let's say this is R is greater than R0, so this is the expansion in the spring. This is some kind of expansion in the spring, and spring will exert force like this. We say the two atoms are attracting each other. The force is kind of attraction. When R is less than R0, this zone, if separation is in this zone, then R is less than R0. So this is some kind of compression in the spring, and spring will exert force such that it will tend to increase the separation. So we say that the atoms are repelling each other. So in this zone there is repulsion, and in this zone there is attraction. This is the separation greater than the equilibrium separation. So molecules tend to come to the equilibrium, and they tend to decrease this separation, so there is attraction. In this zone they tend to increase the separation, so there is a repulsion. This is repulsive zone. So now let's say at a particular temperature, let's say this is the energy level, this is the total mechanical energy. Like I draw here, total mechanical energy is equal to -30. So suppose this is the total mechanical energy at some particular temperature, let's say T1. So at T1 this is the total mechanical energy M1. Now particle can vibrate between these two locations, because at this particular location this potential energy is equal to M1 and kinetic energy has to be 0. So particle will vibrate between these two locations, between these two positions. Particles means atoms. Atoms will vibrate between these two separations. The separation cannot be less than this separation, and separation cannot be greater than this separation. Now let us talk about average separation between the two atoms. This R is equal to R0 is the separation in equilibrium. The size of molecule, the size of solid will be determined by average separation between the atoms. If we change the temperature and if thermal expansion happens, then average separation between the atoms should be increased. So size of solid should be a reflection of the average separation. And is this average separation is equal to R naught? Let us try to find this. R is equal to R naught is the equilibrium separation. This is R is equal to R naught is the equilibrium separation, and from the asymmetry of this curve we can see that this length is less as compared to this length. So the atoms spend more time here. They spend more time in the attraction zone than the repulsive zone. In repulsive zone, the length is, the atomic separation between the atoms is less, and this expansion is more. So average separation we can easily see from this asymmetric nature of curve that average separation is definitely, this average separation is greater than R naught. So average separation is greater than R naught. Average separation will be somewhat here. This is the average separation. Now let us increase the temperature. If we increase the temperature, then the energy of vibration, the thermal energy will increase and the mechanical energy will increase. So if we increase the temperature, the new energy level will be somewhat here. This is the new energy level. Now again you can see that the length on repulsive side is also increased. This much is the increase. Initially this is the length on the repulsive side. Now this is the total length on the repulsive side, and this much is the increased. Here also there is some increase on the attractive side, and here the increase is more. You can see that here the increase is more and here the increase is not that much because of the steep nature of this curve on the repulsive zone. In the repulsive zone the curve is more steep, and in the attraction zone the curve is not that steep. It is some kind of a spread here. It is spreading like this. There is no such steepness. Here it is steep. So this length is less and this length is more. So the expansion on this attractive zone is more here. So we can say that obviously the average separation is greater than R naught, but now average separation is not equal to this value which was earlier. Now average separation will be somewhat here because this increase is more. If increase on both the sides would have been equal, then average separation should have been same, but average separation is now increased. If average separation is like here is this, then average separation is increased because of asymmetry in the curve. If curve would have been symmetric, suppose this is a symmetric curve, I have also taken example like this earlier also. If curve is symmetric, then in symmetric curve what will happen is, in the symmetric curve what will happen is, you can simply see this is the equilibrium position and the separation between the atoms will be symmetric, and if we find the average separation, this length and this length will be same. If we find the average separation in this kind of curve, then average separation will be equal to R naught, which is equal to the equilibrium separation. Even if we increase the temperature, then nothing will change. Average separation will be equal to R naught. If we increase the temperature, then the energy level obviously will go up, but increase on this side, increase on that side will be equal, and average separation will remain as R naught. So average separation will not change if curve is symmetric, but if curve is asymmetric, then average separation will definitely change and thermal expansion will happen. Solid will expand. So solid is expanding because of this kind of asymmetric nature. If we increasing the temperature, then increase in that side is also there, increase in this side is also there, and but because this is greater than this, so average separation, on an average separation between the atoms is increasing, and that is increasing the size of solid, and that is thermal expansion in the solid.